All right, so let's talk about how to make a blog, why to make a blog, all kinds of questions that you may have about that. I'd be happy to answer. And I am by no means an expert at this. I just kind of played around with some settings and happen to like to write, and that's kind of how I created mine. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen mine, but I can kind of go through a little bit about how I started it. So do any of you have a blog right now?
Nope.
No.
No.
Okay, good. Well, that's a good place to start then. So what attracts you to a blog or a website in general? Like, what makes you stop the scroll and say, I want to stop and read, because sometimes, blog posts can be a little bit lengthier. So what would make you want to stop and read it?
If it's something I'm interested in, I used to blog, but it was for more hair and makeup, my job. And if it's something, that catches my eye, so definitely, visuals are helpful I think when it comes to a blog.
Definitely. What else?
I would say a catchy title.
Okay. I like that. So it depends on what you're interested in. Catchy titles, definitely different graphics, and I can tell you about some different tools that I use to kind of make those. I'm sure a lot of you guys are making those for your posts anyway throughout the day, but just in case you aren't using those, then we'll go over that. So, what's the utility of a blog? It helps you expand your audience, right? We can only do so much between Facebook, Instagram, but the more that you blog, you can get that out there. If people Google search a topic that you happen to write about, you're going to be able to expand your audience to people outside of your personal social network. So that's really nice, a nice tool to have. All right, so how do you start a blog? What are the best sites to use? The two that I would recommend that you would want to start your blog would be, I personally use blogger.com. I like it because I can link it with my Google accounts. So I can have everything in one place. So that's really nice. Another one is WordPress. That is very, very popular. I see a lot of the other Beachbody coaches using that, and just bloggers in general. I would say those are the two top ones to use. They're pretty user-friendly, and they walk you through a step-by-step process on how to do that. So those would be the two I would start with. So how they get you started is you create an account, which is free, and then you can choose a different theme. Something that I would recommend doing is you can buy a domain name for like $12 a year. So if you want to make it really personal and something that stands out, that's your website, you can certainly purchase that. So it doesn't include, some other random kind of URL stuff. So that's just something that I did. So my blog site is teamlifelongfitness.com. So that's the team that I created under Sandon, and that's what I actually have lots of different things on there, not just blogging. I actually was able to just add pages for free, and it goes through different tutorials on how to do that, where I can have different tabs that people can click on. So if you guys pull that up, if you have a computer, it has our name. It goes over what exactly the blog is about, that it's about, healthy living. And then in the different tabs, it goes into our story. It talks a little bit about challenge groups, my Shakeology story, meal prep stuff to come, testimonies. I actually have a newly added coach training portal in there, and then a place where people can look at different merchandise and stuff like that. So that's a little bit more advanced. Honestly, when I first started, this is how I would recommend you guys starting, is just literally start the blog and just start writing. I would encourage
Can I ask a quick question?
Oh, yeah, sure.
When you said other pages, meaning you'll put links like Shakeology.com or TeamBeachbody.com. Is that what you mean?
No. So if you pull up my actual blog,
put it in a comment section, under the One Team One Dream, or send it in the a link to your blog.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm sorry. I can do that. Hold on. Let me see, chat. Okay. Okay. It is in the chat if you can get that, and then I'll put it on One Team, One Dream too.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, let's see if I can do this. So again, I'm no expert.
So yeah, what pages did you say you could put on it?
So when you open the website, there's a way that you can go into the editing mode of your templates, and you can actually add different pages to your blog. And it's not to go to a different portal. You're still on your personal blog. It just takes you to different posts, which is cool because then it has the feel of a website, but it's actually a blog.
Oh, nice.
So that's kind of a fun trick that I can go into at a later time, but I'm just going to kind of go into the basics and how you can, what you want. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was, okay, so when you're starting your blog, I would recommend probably trying to write once a week, just so you're kind of getting your feet wet, that you're starting to get some content out there. And the most important thing about it is that you're posting with purpose and with value. So don't just post just to post. That's why I'm saying, like, don't post every day. And same thing with your, your posts on your Facebook and your Instagram and stuff like that. When you're posting your blog posts, people want to read stuff that is from the heart and that it's going to actually benefit them in some way, shape, or form. So when I write different posts, I don't necessarily make them all about health and fitness, although that is the theme of the blog. But I will talk about different things that maybe will be on my mind. So I just wrote a recent one about being in a plateau, and I did kind of loop it back to fitness and weight loss and things like that. But sometimes people get into plateaus in their life. So I kind of tied it all in that it appeals to a little bit of a broader audience that way. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So besides posting with value and purpose, you want to start thinking about your brand. So kind of what Kristen said, when she used to blog, hers was a lot about hair and makeup and things like that. And that's perfectly fine. Whatever defines you, you want to make that reflect you. And then people are going to be drawn to you. No, you're not going to appeal to everyone, but you want to find your niche, find your brand. So for me, my blog, personally, I try to make it fun, colorful. I tend to appeal to a little bit of a younger crowd, more like the early 30s or late 20s, kind of like post-college, maybe some former athletes in there. That's kind of the brand I've created. And it's not exclusive. It's just kind of the theme that's intertwined in a lot of my posts because that's who I am. So I want to attract people like me. So for you, maybe you're a dancer and you want to write about how dancing is therapeutic for the body, or you're really into yoga and you want to talk about that. So just find your crew, find your niche, and then whatever you are really good at, capitalize on it. So if you're really good, like one of the girls on our team in One Team, One Dream, Jess Dalton, she is great at meal prep. So if she were to start a blog, like that would be her go-to thing.
Right.
She's a runner too, so she would appeal to the runner niche. So she could, devise training plans and things like that. So whatever your interests are, and that you want to attract people like that, that's content you can post about. So think about things like that when you're kind of in a writer's block and you're like, oh, I don't know what I can write about. Like, what do I have to offer? Start thinking about what you would want to read about and then go from there. All right, cool. So something else that I wanted to talk about that kind of will be a little bit of a time saver and save a little bit of hassle is looking at different websites that you can actually buy for low cost, a template that you can use for your own blog site. So they range in price. I bought a template for mine to make it a little bit crisper, and more like a website. I bought mine off something called studiomommy.com. And she is just like, a self-made entrepreneur, she does this in her spare time, and she creates different templates. And a lot of those look like very chic and very classy looking. So that's something that I was looking for with mine. And I literally think it was like $15 or something like that. So it just gives you a little bit extra for your blog and makes people, a little bit more attracted to it, as opposed to just kind of like a thrown together thing that's like black and white and doesn't have a lot
Right.
going on. So with that, it comes with all the instructions that you need. So not just hers, but like if you were to Google right now, blog templates for Blogger or blog templates for WordPress, you would get a ton of results back. But you want to, again, appeal to your brand, appeal to your own style and flair. And that can really be a time saver, because I don't have any training whatsoever in computers. Like, this is all just stuff that I've picked up through Googling and like YouTubing things. So they actually will send you a file through an email or whatever after you purchase it, and it gives you like step-by-step instructions on how to upload it to your website or your blog. So that's a pretty cool little trick that I would recommend to save you time. It's not something that I had in mind originally, but then I was like, how do I make my blog look cool? Like, it's so boring. So that's just one little quick trick that I used. One of the top coaches that I would recommend, kind of not necessarily copying her blog, but how I got a lot of my inspiration, was Lindsay Matway. She's one of the top 10 coaches.
Love her.
Yeah, I know. She's awesome. So if you were to Google her blog, she uses blogspot.com, and she basically has a way cooler setup, but she has like the different tabs that you can go to that will take you to different posts. So they're blog posts, but they look in the form of a website. So again, that's that trick I was telling you about. Hers very colorful, lots of different graphics she uses. And then she, does introductions about herself. And most of her posts are about coaching and things like that. But then she does have some stuff about like little recipes and, some other like, oh, this is my favorite eye cream and things like that. So just like helpful things that would want to appeal to a broad audience, kind of catch people's eyes, get new clients, things like that. So that's definitely one of the top people that I would recommend going to her website. She really has it nailed down as far as blogging. And then just a note on vlogging, V-L-O-G. There's a little bit of a newer trend with that, but some people actually do basically like YouTube blogs where they'll do like a post a week. So you can actually do a YouTube post into your blog, and then it's a video that people can watch if they don't feel like reading or they want to listen to it, on their drive or whatever. So if you feel like you're not as good of a writer, but you have a great stage presence and you really like to, like you're more animated when you're talking, or, you have a good video presence, that kind of thing, I would encourage you to do that either via YouTube, or if you're not on Periscope, get on Periscope. Periscope is like the Twitter.
Amazing.
What?
Periscope is amazing.
Yeah, definitely. So if you're not on this, that's definitely something to start exploring. It's essentially like your own TV station. So you can get on this thing called Periscope. And
Can I ask you a quick question, Caitlin? I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm looking at your blog, and it is awesome. Where are you sitting on this, like, mountain?
Oh. Which tab are you?
I am under your Plateau Awesome post.
Oh, that's in Nevada.
Oh my God, girl. Were you rappelling?
No. Well, yeah, we were rock climbing, so it wasn't just rappelling.
That is so badass. Sorry, guys. Sorry to interrupt, but her website's awesome if you guys check it out.
Thank you. So again, yeah, so have like eye-catching pictures on your blog and things like that. But so with the blogging and with Periscope, you want to definitely make sure that you check it out, because you basically do your own TV show. So if I were to log on Periscope right now, anybody could basically log on to whatever I'm talking about. So you schedule, like, I'm going to talk about blogging, how to do your blog. So then if I were to go on Periscope and talk about this, like, people can just tune in if they're like, I want to learn about blog tonight. And it's like people from all over the world can totally listen to you. So
Can I ask a question about Periscope real quick?
Uh-huh.
So I mainly just go on it just to listen to like Shailene or Shanti. Isn't it kind of like Snapchat in the sense that if you don't like put it on your Facebook, doesn't it delete after 24 hours?
It does. Yep. So the utility more so in Periscope, there is a recording function, but the utility with Periscope is more so like live events. So you would go on, your Twitter or your Instagram or your Facebook and say, hey, I'm going to be live on Periscope at 8 p.m. tonight. And then that's how you get your target audience from the people you're already connected to. But other people can log in then.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I would check it out. Definitely download the app. Again, it's free. Shailene Johnson, like Kristen was saying, is definitely one of my favorite people in the world to watch live and on YouTube and on every forum, like podcasts. She's amazing. She always has great content, and she's like the
best
in social media and this, running a business in social media. So I would definitely check her out. So that's just a little note on vlogging and, getting yourself out there on YouTube as well as Periscope. And something else I would just wanted to make a little side note about with Periscope, you can record yourself. And if you are feeling fancy, you can then break down some of that recording and make it into a YouTube video. And then you can break some of that down and then write it into your blog. So you just did, hours and hours of worth of work, and you broke that down into maybe 1 hour. So I'll just kind of go over some of the other like little tricks that I use as far as like graphics, if that's okay. Do you guys have any other questions right now? Or we can take them at the end, but if anybody lost, or you're good?
Caitlin, you keep moving in and out of the light, and I keep thinking that you're changing your shirt color.
Oh, well, didn't you know I'm magical like that?
It's changing. It's freaking me out for a second.
Sorry. I have like awkward lighting. I'm in the office of our house. But.
Like 1 minute you're like, right now your shirt is like a periwinkle, and then when you come in it looks more like an orange.
Oh.
Tiffany, you need to get off those shrooms.
Seriously, I know.
Me, it honestly looks like it's purple.
It is purple. My shirt.
And then you move, and
it's not
like
magical.
pink. It's weird.
It's an app, you guys. She purchased it. It's called ChangeYourShirt.com.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, well, somebody needs to teach me how to use the Zoom thing because I'm missing out on all the shirt-changing fun.
Right? Hey, I'm
I got you, girl. We'll have a separate session on how to actually use Zoom calls.
Yeah, I think I might need that, Kate.
So real quick, I just want to talk about what apps that I love and what other things that I use to make fun, beautiful little graphics. So I'm going to go through my apps real quick. So when I make my posts on Facebook, social media, blah, 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 as well as my blogs, I love Live Collage. It's Live and then collage. It has a little, this is all for iPhone, so I'm sorry if you're an Android user, but I'm sure there are similar equivalents. I would still write them down, but so it has a little C on it. I don't know if you can I would hold it up to the screen, but I don't know if I guess you can see it. Okay, so I have Live Collage. I also have Photofy is like definitely my top fave. I use Pick, Play, Post. That's this one in the middle. And that one, you can actually mesh like tiny video clips as well as stills.
I was just going to ask you which one you used for your workout video, and I guess it's that one.
I do use that one, and then when I'm actually make videos, I use iMovie a lot.
Kristen, just look at the screen. She's showing us her phone.
Girl, I'm on the phone.
Again, next session will be how to use Zoom properly. So,
Yes.
the other apps that I really like, I have, besides iMovie, which you can use on your phone, your iPad, if you have a Mac, I like the app InShot, InShot, and that one's another video app that you can actually kind of make like a few fun effects and like add some music and add some
Nice.
text to your videos. So those are the ones I use the most on my phone. And now when I do some other graphics, I'm starting to really love PicMonkey, PicMonkey, PicMonkey.
PicMonkey.
I love PicMonkey. It's like my new favorite thing. They also have a plan where you can like buy it, I think, for like maybe $30 or something like that to get like the extra graphics and things like that, like get extra fonts and like extra little like fun things that you can do with your photos, and more like collage room and things like that. But I just started getting into that one, and you can make like some really beautiful things with that.
I've used PicMonkey before, and I think it's, personally, I like Photoshop too, but I think PicMonkey is a lot easier than Photoshop.
Okay, cool.
I think it has a lot more where, like, as far as graphics go.
Right.
But I mean, I like it better. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I had to say that.
No,
I've
that's
used it before,
great.
and
I
do
appreciate
like
your
it.
input, because honestly, I'm still learning too. Like I said, I am no expert whatsoever. I'm just kind of sharing the things that have worked for me, and I am open to suggestions. So do you guys have any for your Facebook or Instagram, or for your like any kind of graphics you guys are making? Do you have any
I
other
use Viva Video.
Viva Video?
That's like where like I post all my videos from.
Nice.
And there's
Viva
one,
Video.
yes. And then
I
there's
gotta
one,
check that out.
it's through Android. I know that one, but it gives you up to like 5 minutes free and to share to anything. And then after that, to have like the extended version, it's only like $2.99 for the app, I believe. And it gives you
I have
the different
good.
like edit things for it.
Nice.
Sweet.
I have VSCO Visco. I'm in love and obsessed with it. It's totally free, everything. The filters down to like the recordings. It's pretty much just like another like gallery of your own, but you know, without having to pay anything. Visco's cool, but if you want to add text and stuff, obviously I have Photify. And then I had this one video thing, but it took up too much space, so I had to delete it, and I can't even remember what it was, so it won't be helpful. But it wasn't my favorite either. So that part doesn't matter.
Good to know. All right, cool. So those are kind of like my blogging basics. Once you guys get yours up and running, I would be happy to try to help you navigate through it. Again, I'm no expert, but I would be, really happy to help you guys with that. So once you get it up and running, I would say like, if you have time, sometime this week, maybe start it. Just try one post. That's going to be my task for you guys, your little homework. So I would say, for the end of the week, try just one post, or like over the weekend, if you have a little free time, try just one post. And one thing that I would really encourage is don't sell. This shouldn't be your forum to be like advertising necessarily for, your challenge groups. Although I do have tabs about that, but I try to keep my main content like what would interest you if you were looking at a blog. So it can be about meal prepping, or it can be about, I just did that one on the plateau, but I've done other ones about like, I obviously am a physician assistant for those of you who don't know that, but so I do a lot of little medical things that I think it's so important for the general public to be educated and stuff like that. So I did one about the trend of obesity and how much strain it really does put on your body that you don't see. So I did a blog post on that. So there's just, get creative. There are no rules with that. So that's what's awesome about it. You can like get your, your inner creative soul out there and write about whatever the heck you want. But again, just like, try to appeal to your brand, and try to have somewhat of a theme, but you can, whatever's on your mind, go for it. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Again, if you have specific questions, I would be open to them.
I'll ask a quick question, Kate.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Thank you.
how much, yeah, like I used to love blogging, and I actually feel like when I did back in the day, I actually used to write for Examiner.com, if anyone's ever heard of it.
Okay.
I used to love writing, and I kind of got away from it, and especially now with Little Pumpkin, but
Yeah.
just haven't had the time, but not that that's an excuse. There's no excuse. I'm just saying. Do you feel like you get a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for, like traction from that? Do you feel like, do you like just enjoy doing it? Like, do you feel like you get a lot of people who enjoy your posting? Like, what kind of feedback do you get?
So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't feel like yet that I've gotten, that I've expanded my clientele significantly through my blog. But what I do is when I put up a new blog post, I'll take a picture of it and then make it an Instagram or a Facebook post. And I'll say, new blog post up about, the trend or myth busting about clean eating. That's one I did. So I did like myth busting clean eating 101. And, you can actually
I like that.
You can trend your hits on your page. So when I post about what I blog, I can see my hits go significantly up. And, I've had people share my blog posts. I've had other people
Nice.
well,
that's the one right there.
Yeah. So just if it's, if it's valuable information, people are going to be willing to want to read it. So that's how I will advertise for it. Or sometimes,
that's awesome.
Sometimes in my Facebook or Instagram, I'll do like a fitness post and I'll say, if you want to see more, go to teamlifelongfitness.com. And then I'll see a spike in hits as well whenever I advertise that website, because people don't necessarily know what it is, if it's a blog or a website, and it kind of looks like both. So that's kind of the fun in it, is that you can expand your network with it.
And people are probably more comfortable sharing that than like your actual like Facebook or Instagram post.
Right.
I just feel like they'd feel more comfortable, like, oh, this is like a website, so I'm not really sharing her personal post. I'm sharing, you know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like they'd be more comfortable sharing that with one another.
Exactly. I did another one that was like about sweating for the wedding as well.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a good one.
Yeah. So then, I have a ton of girls who are getting married soon, and I kind of did it for them, and just because we were like 6 months out from our wedding, and it's just nice to reflect. So kind of, if something pops into your head, write it down. Like, it doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m, if it's 7 a.m, and you're driving to work. Like, I will bust out my phone and I'll go to my notes section and I'll literally like dictate with the voice to text app, and I'll just like blah, 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 like, spout off a blog post basically, like, to my phone, and then I'll copy and paste it and edit it later. So that's a big time saver. I am all about efficiency because I have like no extra time during the day when I'm working. So that's a big time saver. If you have a great idea, write it down. I always have like a notebook or something nearby.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Good. So how are you guys doing otherwise? Is everything okay with your teams? Do you have other questions?
I have a quick question. Sorry, I have another one. I have a girl. I was talking to Sam before she left.
Okay.
Her name's Raina, and she has like, I think he's 10 weeks old now, and a 10-week-old. And she like used to be crazy into fitness prior to her pregnancy, just like me. So she has like 2 bags of Shakeology, like a ton of programs. But she really wants to be a part of our team and a part of, the March Madness Fitness Challenge, because, I told her how much it helped me lose weight to be a part of a team like that. And so she wants to do it. And I keep hearing, from her on and off. And Sam suggested that we, get her on the performance line, because that's one of the few things you don't, get Shakeology with, and you can get it later.
Okay.
I haven't heard back about what she thinks yet about that decision, but what do you think if like she's like, oh, I'd rather not take, Energize and Hydrate? Is there any other suggestion that you have for her?
So she already has too much Shakeology, you're saying, right now?
Yeah. Mhm.
And you want to sign her up as a discount coach, basically?
Exactly.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to pause the recording since the part about blogging is over, so we can just kind of chat, and then everything else can be like off record, okay? All right. Thank you for listening about blogs.
Thanks.